Hey guys, I am on my way to my fabric store. So I was getting an itch to go fabric shopping. I checked my bank account and the last time I was there was December 8th. I can't even believe it. Let's see what today is. Today is January 21st and I have not been to my local fabric store in over a month. I'm worried that they are worried about me. So I'm going to go and show my face, because I wouldn't want anybody to worry. That's my excuse anyways. So I have been putting off going because I was waiting to see what they have on sale this month. They usually send out an email to show what's going to be on sale for the week or the month or whatever it is. And I haven't received anything. And I wanted to get some Western type fabric for my next market in Wickenburg. Wickenburg is a big country town. So I thought some animal prints or farm type prints would be really cute. So that is what I'm hoping to do, is find some of that. If anything, I'm going to be calling this a scouting trip. So, when people go hunting and they scout for deer and then they go back and hunt when hunting season actually opens, that's what I'm doing. I'm just going to go and scope out the fabric aisles and see what they have and maybe inquire about the next sale. And maybe I'll get lucky before the Wickenburg show and get some fabric on sale. But if not, I will purchase the fabric at full price anyways, because I do want to have some country prints in the lineup. I have seen some farm type fabrics at Hobby Lobby, but I'm really trying hard not to buy any of my regular prints at Hobby Lobby, just because, like I said before, I really don't want my products to be found in a million places and from a million sellers. So we will see what we find. All right, guys, we made it. It took me about 20 minutes to get here. I'm really excited to go and see what they have today. They look pretty busy today. There's a lot of people in the parking lot. So we shall see how it goes, but I am very excited and not sure if I'm going to film anything in the store, but they're in Sun City West, and a store that I like to shop at is called Bob's Big Variety. So love the store. I will show you guys exactly what I bought when I get home. Hey guys, my name is Lori with Sew at Peace. I make handmade sewn items, and on my video today, as you can see, I did a fabric haul. So I went to my local quilt shop, which I love. They are just so kind there. The ladies are so nice, so friendly, and they always have great deals. Their prices range anywhere from $5 a yard to $13 a yard, I believe. And they got some new stuff in today. So I was very excited to see new fabric out. So new fabric means that they put some of the older stuff in the clearance section, which I love. Every time I go there, they always have different bolts of fabric in the clearance section. So of course, I try to see if there's anything that I like in that section first. So I'm going to show you guys what I got. So mostly everything was on clearance. I'm going to go ahead and show you, and a lot of these I'm just going to use for lining fabrics. So we'll start with this one. I thought this was super, super cute. So it looks like little friendship bracelets. So it says babe, besties, friends, BFFs. It's super cute. So I thought this fabric would be perfect for iPad sleeves. So a lot of tween or young girls. I just recently added the iPad sleeves to my shop, but I noticed that they're very popular among the younger girls. So I think this fabric is gonna be a hit. I only got 1 yard of it. So we're gonna test it out and hopefully it'll still be there if I need to get more. And then I found this. This was a lucky find for me. Ladies at the cutting counter. So once they get done cutting, they put the bolts in a shopping cart and I always look in there just in case I see something. So I saw this in there and I thought it would be great with some of my existing fabrics that I have. And I think it'll make a really good lining fabric. So it's really fun. It's like a hot pink with like a silver metallic. It's really pretty. And I got this one, which, you know, I love all fabrics that are kind of hippie-ish. And this one right here gives me hippie vibes. So it is super cute. It's by Riley Blake Designs. I love her fabrics. And yeah, it just kind of reminds me of 70s, which I love. And I got some more of this like blue plaid. I have some of this in my collection already that I use as a lining fabric. So I just got another yard of that. And I got this light blue fabric and it just has very subtle flowers on it. It's really pretty. I'm thinking about using this one as a lining fabric, but it could be used as a main fabric too. So we'll see what happens with this one. This one, not sure about if it's gonna be lining or main fabric. And then purple, I think I might have a main fabric that this will go with. It's just a diamond type of print. And I thought this would be really good for a lining fabric. If not, I can use it in the future for something else. And I also got this white and gold fabric. So it's just like the hot pink fabric, same print, it's gold metallic. And I thought this would make a really great lining fabric as well. And then I got this other pattern. I'm really not quite sure what it is. I don't know if it's kind of like plaid. Not really, it's got like a different design on it. So I'll bring it in close so you can see. So it's like plaid, but it has smaller squares within the squares. So I thought this would make a really good lining fabric as well. So I got a couple yards of this. And that's it. It's a lot of fabric, but like I said, most of it's gonna be lining fabric. So good find in the $5 section. All right, so my main goal for this video is to make some bookmarks. I'm gonna go through my fabric scraps and kind of gauge what I need to be making. I was gonna focus on corner bookmarks. Actually, I think we'll do corner bookmarks and standard bookmarks. So I'm gonna show you what I have. So this is my stash that I have left. So these are all of my standard bookmarks and these ones are all of my corner bookmarks. So see in there, and a lot of them are fall colors. So I want to add some brighter colors, some different colors, maybe some blues, more pinks, something with more spring vibes since we're almost in spring. So that's what we're gonna be working on today. All right, I went through all of my scraps. So this is what we have to get started, and I separated them by the size I'm gonna need for my corner bookmarks and the size I'm gonna need for my standard size bookmarks. So some things may not be perfectly the dimensions that I need, but if they're slightly smaller, I just adjust my measurements with the rest. So for instance, like my corner bookmarks, they take 3 squares. So I'll just make sure that they're all the same size. So it could be 3.5 inches and they're normally 4 inches or something like that. So that is what I'm gonna do. So I will share with you guys. I typically don't like to share my measurements, but a bookmark is something very simple. So I feel comfortable sharing the measurements with you guys. So we're gonna start with the corner bookmarks. So this is my stack that I have for the corner bookmarks, and I'm just gonna go ahead and get started on cutting everything. And for my corner bookmarks, I cut squares that are 4 inches by 4 inches. So that's what we're gonna get started with. All right, guys, I am all done cutting my pieces and fusing them. So I really just took my scraps and figured out which pieces will be good for the corner bookmarks, which pieces will be good for the standard size bookmarks. So I really don't know that I have coordinating sets. So what I'm gonna do right now is just go through all of my pieces and pair them up. And if there's anything that just really doesn't match, I'll look for a piece in my scraps to see if it coordinates with it, and then we will go from there. I forgot to mention that the standard size bookmarks were cut at 2.5 inches by 6.5 inches. So that should give us a final result of 6 inches by 2 inches. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. All right, so I got all of my ribbons and I'm just gonna pair everything up. Okay, so for this, I'm gonna do pink. All right, I'm just gonna clip everything together so it's ready to go under the sewing machine. So we just put the ribbon facing in. So you make your little loop, place it in the middle, and clip it down. So next up is blue. I think I like this blue for this floral. Maybe even for these ones, I think it'll be cute. So we're gonna do the blue on all these. Blue floral, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now I'm gonna work on all these corner bookmarks. So for this, we need 3 sets. So, or I'm sorry, not 3 sets, we need 3 pieces. So we're gonna have the inner, the outer, and then our flap. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these pairs together, or sets together. So these pieces are kind of like my odd guys out. They don't fully coordinate. So I'm gonna put these in my scrap or my pre-cuts bin. That way, when I do have more scraps, I can continue on with these bookmarks. But I think we have plenty of bookmarks to make for now. All right, guys, I'm done pairing all my squares. So the next step would be just to fold all of my triangles together. So whatever piece that I want for my flap, and this one, I need to cut this. The interfacing got a little crooked. Okay, so this is gonna be one set, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have the back with the floral, the front's gonna be the light blue, and then the little triangle paper flap is going to be this print. So I'm going to iron all of my flap pieces here. So I'm just going to fold them at a diagonal to form a triangle and then iron it. And this will just help everything lay nicely when we go to the sewing machine. All right, so this is how we're gonna be sewing our corner bookmarks. So you're gonna take one of your pieces and then you're gonna put your corner piece on top of it. So raw edges are gonna be touching the raw edges here. And then you're gonna get your other piece of fabric and you're gonna put it face down on top of the flap. So we're gonna do this and we're gonna leave an opening on one of the sides that doesn't have the flap edge. So it's gonna be either on this side or this side. And you wanna try to leave like a 2-inch gap in the middle. So don't do it right on the corner because it'll be hard to get that sewn when you go and top stitch it. So we're just gonna sew from here all the way around and a little bit in here. And then for the standard bookmark, we're gonna leave an opening on the side, again, about a 2-inch opening, and it can be on either side. I wouldn't recommend doing it on one of the top pieces, or top or bottom, just because it's easier to get this straight line on the longer part. All right, and then for your standard bookmark, if you want, you can go ahead and just do like a basting stitch on your piece of ribbon just so it doesn't move. So I normally don't do this, but I did want to try it just because I have had it shift before. So just a quick little basting stitch, and then you can start on one of these long ends. Guys, I am all done flipping the bookmarks. So they're kind of a pain in the butt, especially the corner bookmarks. They take forever to flip. So I left one so I can show you the process, or how long it takes in real time with the corner bookmark. All the standard ones are done as well. So I had my daughter help me last night. She does like a rough flip, and I'll show you the stage she helps me with. And then I go in there and then just poke everything through with my pointer tool. And even though she doesn't do it all the way, it still helps me tremendously, just because it's kind of a pain in the butt. You would think that these small things would be quick, but they're not. So I'll show you. So anyways, yeah, I was hoping to get them all done last night while I was sitting at the couch, but she wanted to do diamond art again. So we did some diamond art, and I only worked on the bookmarks for maybe like 20 minutes, and that was it. So when she helps me, it looks something like this. So I just go through there and poke it out a little bit more with my fingers. So when you're flipping it out, as you can see on this one, the corner piece and this lining piece is, or I don't know if it's called the lining piece, but this other piece, they match. So I like for the flap to be contrasting with the, like my main fabric, I guess you would say. So I flip it so that there's two different colors on this side. And then just go through with your fingers and poke it all through. So once you've poked it to the best of your abilities with your fingers, then I go through with the pointer tool and try to poke it out as much as I can. So this one's actually not too bad. Sometimes I really struggle with these. All right, and that looks pretty good. So just because there's so many layers with this, in the very corner of your flat piece, you're not going to get it super angled. So it'll have a little bit of a curve to it. So this is the end of that step. So now what I'm going to do is take these over to the iron and just fold in all of these little flat pieces here. and press it just so we can get a nice crisp edge for our top stitching. I always keep my pointer tool at the ironing station too, just in case I need to continue to try to get these corners a little more crisp. So I like to focus on one side of the fold first and then flip it over, and then if I need to adjust the other side of the flap, I can do that. It's just easier than trying to get everything to line up at the same time. All right, that one looks good. It's ready for top stitching. And I'm just gonna continue on with all these, and then here is one of the standard bookmarks, so I just do the same thing. All right guys, I'm done ironing all of my bookmarks. So the next step is I'm gonna separate my bookmarks by color of thread for my top stitching. So for my top stitching, on the corner bookmarks, I only stitch from this corner here down and over. I don't stitch on this outer flap. I just prefer the look of this versus the top stitching over this flap. And for my standard bookmarks, we just stitch all the way around. So very basic. So what I do for this is just color code my thread. So I'm going to make different stacks of bookmarks. So for instance, this one, I'll probably use a light pink since it blends with both sides of the fabric. So I'm going to put this in my light pink stack, and then this is going to be, this will be a purple. I don't know if it's going to be a light purple or dark purple. We'll figure it out once we go through the rest of the bookmarks, but I'm going to put this in its own stack. So this one will be in a blue, and I think I'm going to do the navy blue for those ones. All right, guys, I'm going to show you an example of how I sew these corner bookmarks. So I just kind of like lift this flap up. So you can see here, I just lift it up, and then we're going to start sewing down this way. And we're going to sew very, very close to the edge. So probably about 1/8 of an inch away. And I'm going to change my stitch length to a 3. All right, and then we just stop right at this corner on the other side as well. So we did not stitch along this flap area. So that's what it looks like. So we just need to trim our threads in a little bit, and then I'll sew a standard size bookmark so you can see what that looks like. We're just gonna sew from the bottom. It doesn't really matter where you sew from, and just make sure you back stitch. All right, this one's all done. So that's what it looks like. And I just need to trim these threads when we're done. And I'm gonna continue on and do the rest of them. All right, guys, I am all done with the bookmark. So I will show you everything I made. And as I usually say, this took me longer than I expected. I started it before I went on my trip. We went on a trip to the Verde Canyon Railroad, and I started working on it, I worked on these a little bit yesterday and then again today. So I don't really know how much time it took me to make these. I usually will time myself, but I've already timed myself making these before. So yeah, it wasn't a priority, but I will show you guys all the ones I made. And I kind of put them in groups by the different colors. So I'll show you all the corner bookmarks first. And here's another one. And I won't show you all of them, just the ones that look a little bit different. And then a few of these ones. And here's a little floral one with pink. That's the only one I did with that. And a butterfly. There's the lemons. Here's a little purple sunflower batik with a purple accent. And a little purple floral diamond print. And then that one is just a little, that's what I call the hippie blue floral with another bright blue fabric in there. And then here's one with a light purple, and then it has that really pretty tulip pink fabric on the inside. And this one is probably my favorite. I really like, well, you know, I like the tulip pink fabric, and I think paired with this purple is super cute. So that one is my favorite. And then here is a blue and mauve floral. And then another one with plaid. That one got out of order. And then I'll show you my standard bookmarks. So some of them I put different fabric on the back side. So this one just has the little honey bear fabric with the gingham on the back. And same with that one. This one has plaid on both sides, or the gingham, whatever it is. And then this one has the ruby starburst fabric. And I just coordinate for these just a matching ribbon. So this one got the gold ribbon. And this one, I'm surprised I had a ribbon that matched this material or this fabric, because this one, it's kind of like a peach coral type print or color, and this ribbon just matches perfectly. And here's a little butterfly with the green ribbon, and some more tulip pink standard bookmarks. Also love these. And here's another one with the lemon print, and then I just added a hot pink ribbon. And this one, I put my lemonade, I call it the lemonade print, on one side, and then the other one is a strawberry. And this one is my daughter's favorite. She loves this blue. And this blue actually matches perfectly with this fabric as well. And this one is a Hobby Lobby fabric. So last year for the Junk in the Trunk vintage market that I did, I bought some fabric. Well, I was on a hunt for fabric that looked vintagey. So that's why I ended up buying this one from Hobby Lobby. But if you're new to my channel, you know that I try not to source my main prints from Hobby Lobby, just because I want my shop to have different prints. So I made quite a few of those. And then here's another blue one I did. And then this is the other one that I call hippie blue floral. And then I did one in the green hippie blue, or in the green hippie floral. And then I just added a gold on the back side of that. So overall, very pleased with all my bookmarks. So I'm excited to have some more in my stock for the upcoming market on February 4th. So not 4th, but I have a market coming up on Valentine's Day weekend in Wickenburg. It's called Wickenburg Gold Rush Days. So really excited to do that one. It's a huge event, and I might make some more actually if I find the Western fabric that I'm looking for. So I also wanted to show you a different style bookmark that I have made. So this is from my existing bookmark collection. It has some linties on it, but okay, so the reason I wanted to show you this is because there is a different method to make the bookmarks. So if you have some pinking shears, so they're like the scissors that have like little zigzag on it, you can make them this way. It's much easier, much faster to make it this way because you're not having to flip things right side out. And as you saw, it's kind of a pain in the butt. So I don't love this method. It's not my favorite, especially with some of this fabric that I have done this with. It's kind of, I don't know, this fabric in particular just kind of frays a lot, this brown one, but this gold on here is 100% quilting cotton. So that one's fine, but this other one that I chose on here, it frays a lot. So you get a lot of loose threads after you cut it. So I'm constantly finding thread all over these bookmarks. So that's just one thing to consider. So if you're gonna do it this way, you literally just put the right sides on each side, put your flap out exactly the way you'd be looking at it in the correct fashion, and then you just stitch your 1/4 inch around the entire thing and you're done. So I also have another bookmark that I did the same way. So this one does not have a ribbon, but it is pinked along the edges. And let me see, I must have sold out of them, but I wanted to show you if you do the pinking method on a standard bookmark and add a ribbon on here like I do. I must have sold all the ones I had, but you just have to be careful with the ribbon. So you have to like fold one layer to one side, hold the ribbon down, and then cut the fabric with your pinking shears, and then do the same thing on the other side. So put your ribbon on this side and then cut this side of your fabric. So just something to keep in mind, but I think for the most part, I'm going to stick with this method versus the pinking method. So I hope you guys learned something from my bookmark book prepping video, and if you did, I would appreciate it if you gave me a like and subscribe if you want to see more sewing content like this. And also, I will show you guys a little clip at the end of my trip on the railroad if you want to see that. So thank you guys again so much for watching, and I hope you have a joyful and peaceful day.